Have you ever heard of the diffusion index? Do you have any idea what that might mean? We'll address that one today and, a couple other things. So I did get a C- in macroeconomics, which is probably going to color this video a little bit. But contextually, I do want you to understand that macro was at 8:50 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday class during the first semester of college when I was just trying to get my within reason binge drinking boots underneath me. So I did bomb out on that one. My point on this video is not that economic data is useless. It is very useful, but the thing is, most people have no idea how to read or conceptualize it, and thus it just becomes fodder for the ideology wars. Simple cheat sheet that you probably know: if a Democrat is in the White House, no matter what metric you put out on labor, employment, general economy, rates, the right-leaning media will say everything is horrible. Reverse the power core, same thing happens. So what's going on here? Well, the base level is pretty simple. Number one, people are not that smart. You can blame this on the decline of public education or the fact that personal financial literacy is not taught in most schools, but we're not that smart, to be perfectly honest. Number two, we're not that data-driven. I could do a whole different video on this, and maybe someday I actually will, but data-driven is only a thing humans claim to be. Humans are utterly emotional and prone to irrational decisions based on their gut and their experiential background. Data is essentially something that we deem to nerds. Now here's a binary problem. Number three, I go through infertility right now, and it's the same thing. With having biological kids, the situation is either 0, which means you don't, or 1, which means you do. You can still be a parent in other ways, obviously, foster, adoption, primary caregiver, etc. But on bio kids, it's 0 or 1. It's the same with something like the unemployment rate. If you are unemployed at present, you become a 0 and probably view the economy and its hiring arc unfavorably. If you are employed, you're a 1 and can see the forest for the trees maybe a little bit. 4. We don't provide the right data or context. Most data is non-farm employment. That's how it's contextualized, which groups together $200,000 white-collar jobs and service-level jobs. That's such a wide playing field that the aggregate data often can't give you a clear picture. Now we come back to this diffusion index thing I talked about at the top of this video. Okay, so diffusion index refers to where jobs are coming from, i.e., is all the hiring concentrated in 1 to 2 industries? And if so, if you can't work in those industries? You hardly ever see diffusion index reported when these numbers come out, although theoretically it's pretty important. If only 1 to 2 industries are hiring, that's not really a good economy in base terms. I'm not sure what drinking places means, but according to the most recent diffusion index data I could find from the last jobs report, job gains occurred in healthcare, government, food services, drinking places, social assistance, transportation, warehousing. Drinking places on the rise doesn't seem that good. More bartenders and bar backs does not seemingly a functional society make, but I could be wrong on that. Last thing here, in 2022, I believe the Bureau of Labor Statistics started a new metric called JQI, or Job Quality Index, which essentially refers to jobs above and below the median income line. A good job is thus above the line, and a bad job is below the line. As you can see here, since 1990, the U.S. economy has created about twice as many bad jobs as good ones. So again, the aggregate information could seem rosy depending on your ideology, but if we're a society of bartenders and DoorDash drivers yet still rely on consumerism and tax revenues, there's potential issues. The TLDR on all this is that we're not smart enough, focused enough, or data-driven enough to parse out economic data and see what's truly happening. Instead, whatever comes out just becomes more rubber bullets in the current culture wars. And in the process, we all get a little bit stupider. What's your take?